Hello everyone and welcome back to the Spearhead cast. With me, Matt. We have a 1v1 for you all here on the fields of Mechanised. Normally a 2v2 map to my understanding. But we have a 1v1 on it here on the Western Front. Let's go through the players. Represent the United States today, we have Booty Short Bandits as Mechanized coming straight out the gate and going straight out for Mechanized Troopers. Ooh, unique riflemen available to you if you're playing as a Mechanized, and you actually be seeing double of them. This should be interesting. Representing the Germans today, we have Rocklers like the Division for the Wehrmacht with double Fox Grenadier. Oh, it's also a victory point map. This should be interesting. I like that I'm seeing a few more victory point maps. I actually quite like that. It's gonna be cool to see what people do with it. But it's gonna be Mechanized against Mthis, so Mechanized forces for both sides? This should be potentially fascinating. You know, we have the Pioneers having a firefight with the rear echelon, which I think is to the Pioneers' advantage. Especially at this range, with the heavy cover. Because I think the Pioneers are just better statted. They have like the basic stat of German infantry, like the Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers. So when Volksgrenadiers are northwards. Oh, but one Pioneer goes down. Because the Mechanized troopers almost arriving here. But they'll be able to do a lot more damage with the M1 Garands. Problem is they still don't fire as fast as they could, because they're not the first tier to get the Lieutenant upgrades. Where you can get an increased fire rate for all basic American infantry. They will fire slower, but they are still doing a lot more work. But the Pioneers are holding pretty well behind this down Stuka. You have some Volksgrenadiers who might join in the fight soon. Currently looks like the Volksgrenadiers are just spreading around. They need to capture points, I feel. Both sides are not really capturing points here. They're just trying to get fights. The first fight won here in the center, evidently. One more Mechanized troopers arriving on the battlefield. The Volksgrenadiers come up behind the down Stuka. And lane some more firepower. The Germans should do better at long-range firefights here thanks to their Kar-98s. But the Pioneers have lost a lot of their members already. Down to 2 men. 1 man left and the last man runs. Good to see. Reachelon also running back. Now we have the Mechanized troopers against the Volksgrenadiers, which I don't think the Volksgrenadiers won that fight. That'd be hard to say. These Volksgrenadiers have not really done much. Waiting up there behind cover. Second Pioneers arriving here for the Division. Oh yeah, the Volksgrenadiers are slowly losing because they're not all behind the cover actually. Oh yeah, cover, remember, cover is directional. These guys are actually not in cover technically. Well, they're only behind light cover there somewhat. We have another Volksgrenadier who might come down here shortly. But they need to act quick. Meanwhile, the Americans are slowly securing the southern flank now. We have the Volksgrenadiers moving up here to a potential flank. Quickly rushing up. Trying to get the flank position. Actually, they are focusing on the Americans up here first of all. I guess that would be good so they can clear up some more area. Volksgrenadiers are throwing a button flasher. Might be a good one. Oh, very good one at that. That might be a dead cavalry trooper. And indeed, that's a dead cavalry trooper. But the center flank is about to fall with only 1 Volksgrenadier holding it. He should probably retreat, and there he goes. Will he get out of there? He does not. Brought down by the Americans arriving here. But the Germans can now safely secure the northern flank. The Volksgrenadiers can move into this crater here. The Germans have secured a fair bit of territory to work with, including a fuel point, unlike the Americans, and also a victory point now. But the Americans are about to secure double victory points here. We also have a 30 caliber machine gun arriving here. Looks like it's going to be the air-cooled version, using the MG34 model for Company Heroes 2. Americans on the southern flank hold that victory point now. Need to capture this cutoff point both, though, to get any good amount of resources. To the Pioneer. Oh, a Tellermine. That's going to stop vehicles, but not infantry. Would be helpful to stop a mechanized vehicle at some point. Choice. They're also fairly cheap to lay down, I believe. Like, generally most German mines are fairly cheap to lay down, comparably. I think the Tellermine is the most expensive. Because it's also the most powerful. But it only triggers on vehicles. Germans are securing some more territory. Americans haven't secured their cutoff yet. That's actually a big mistake, I think. Americans are getting a jeep. Certainly help. Germans laying sandbags along the front line here. Oh, these Volksgrenadiers being moving automatically over to try and help that. Oh, that's actually a problem, I think. But the Americans are not really capitalizing on it. Probably because they don't know, obviously. But now the Foscaniers have somewhat dug in with a sandbag position. That's going to be a problem for these re-echelon. There's no way they can push up safely. German infantry is just too accurate, but we do have a Jeep arriving here with a 30 caliber. Getting some good shots in. Triple Pioneer. Ooh. Lots of Pioneers arriving here for the Wehrmacht. 30 caliber on the center, though, has prevented the Germans from securing the central point. Second Jeep arriving here for the United States of America. At long range, it seems like the Jeep is doing pretty okay with its 30 caliber. Taking a lot of damage yet, but that could change. We do have an MG-34 arriving here for the Wehrmacht. Who's setting up here to prevent the mechanized troopers when they get around the corner. Yeah, and in seconds they're suppressing them. Oh, one Jeep actually got cleared out here by the Foscaniers and Pioneers. But another Jeep is arriving. Trying to suppress, and it succeeds. But don't think the Pioneers want. Of course, it seems like they have a shot blocker here. Lucky for them. Waiting up behind the shed here, being armed with a Panzerbüchse.
Get ready, guys.
America still don't have that cutoff point. That's like a big deal, I think. The mechanized troopers are not really moving to secure more territory. Ooh, this is gonna be a very big problem for the United States, I feel. Both players have to be somewhat cautious here. People do play a little bit differently when it's victory points, I feel, and when it's a 1v1 on a larger 2v2 map. Although I wouldn't call this a larger 2v2 map, it's just a 2v2 map. You have the half-tracks arriving now, a lot cheaper if you're playing as Leichte, I believe. And we actually cannot see it there. Yeah, only 10 fuel, that's pretty damn cheap. 190 manpower for like a very mobile half-track. He pulls back, but it's gonna shut up by the Panzerbüchse.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
But America still hold 2 points, so they're now getting the cutoff and the fuel. Will certainly help the American cause. Oh, Flammenwerfers are being prepared. MG-42 is being loaded up now on the half-tracks. Gonna make them a lot more lethal. Not enough for the other half-track though. And the motorized troopers lack any AT capabilities apart from a bazooka they can get if they're Veteran C2. Actually, only Veteran C1 by the looks of it. But they need to be a Veteran C1 to get that bazooka. Apart from it, they have no AT capabilities. So those half-tracks are going to be a big problem for the United States at the moment. Wait, the Americans are not prepared for this. Although the MG-42 is not upgraded yet. Takes a while to get it. Filling out that re-echelon. Ooh, I don't think the mechanized troops are prepared for this. We do have a half-track and autocannon coming out here for the United States. We also have a 261 as a command car running here. Another half-track coming on the flank. I think these mechanized troopers need to get out of there. They're going to be stuck in the crossfire. Oh, yeah, that's bad. They're getting mowed down bit by bit here.
Half-track just arrived.
Yeah, now they're completely pinned. I guess they're even retreating because they know they will not be able to get out of there alive. Like, very good play with the mechanized units there. And the 261 can capture ground and so can the troops in the half-track. They can really get around rapidly. But this American half-track here can also destroy them rapidly, thanks to its autocannon.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
We need to see if they can use the M15 reliably. Not always they can. It's a very hard vehicle to use because it has to, you know, reverse up because of how this gun is placed. It's after all meant to be an AT anti-air weapon. Ooh, side blockers might be too much here, and it needs some vision. Germans are falling back upon seeing it because they know they cannot fight that. You do see a Puma coming, which might actually be a good choice against it. Because the Puma could outflank it and get some shots in and kill it. The Americans need some more units out, I think, and some more varied ones to help deal with this mechanized force that the Germans have assembled. Oh, bazookas are coming up here now on one of the mechanized troopers because they're Veteran C1. which will certainly help. Looks like the half tracks and the 261 is relocating. It's good to see people actually doing mechanized stuff. Mechanized stuff can be very potent if you can get it in the right position. Especially on the flank. In a 1v1 it's very hard for one player to cover the entire front line. Germans definitely seem to have the upper hand for now. Americans can secure that fuel point again though if they want. They are. Good to see. I think the Americans need more of a field presence. Recon team here out in the open is just gonna get shot to pieces. One guy down. Oh, the mortar actually got a kill there. Cheeky. Pack is coming up for the Wehrmacht as well. If you have a mechanized push from the Wehrmacht. As it's getting another mechanized trooper and another tank on the team though. Or a tank on the team. We're just gonna do a full-on mechanized push here. I don't think the Americans are prepared for it, but they do have 50 caliber positions back at the base, but ooh, I don't think it can hit it. There's a side blocker in the way.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being
Like rapid maneuvers here from the Wehrmacht. Really proving what you can do with a good mechanized force. We do have a Stuart coming out here. Oh, and the Puma got the first shot there, destroying it. There's an anti-tank team on the field though. This machine gun is being cleared out. Yeah, these mechanized units are doing a very good job here for the Wehrmacht. But I have to come towards the mechanized troops out on the open road. And then when they're pinned, you really can only retreat them, I think. So they're not really doing much there. But the mechanized troops and units just move around rapidly. Bazooka misses. That's going to be death sentence for these mechanized troopers. Oh, they missed the other bazooka shot. Very cheeky, but here comes the Stuart. And the Puma is still returning for repairs, but the Stuart can definitely deal with these mechanized units. As long as the Puma is not there. Oh, popped. Looks like the Rocket is doing a pretty good job here with the mechanized units. The Americans need some more infantry out. Pack 40 in the center here. Good needs to try and hunt them down somehow. But the Americans definitely need some more units out here.
Unit ready for action.
Oh, the Stuart can capture? Is that a thing you can do if you're mechanized? Like an upgrade or something. I don't know. I know that mechanized could capture stuff. It might just be a thing they've upgraded to have. Like a ability. Like a faction abilities. And those half tracks are hard to deal with, but if you had some 50 caliber positions and such, or some mines, I could probably deal with them very easily. Like the 50 caliber machine guns the United States can just deal with those half tracks pretty damn fast. So the problem is just the 30 caliber cannot. Not good enough to penetrate in the armor of these things. Germans still hold some ground, and the Americans still hold the victory points majority, so the Americans are technically winning point-wise. It's gonna matter if they lose all their units. We do have a half-track here, and the half-track here does have the 50 caliber on top. Problem is there's a Puma somewhere. More mines being laid here quickly by the Wehrmacht. So we're gonna have some Sprengminen in there. No mines out here, there's still the Tellermine waiting. Americans need to be a little bit careful. They do have some company engineers here from that half-track. But they don't have minesweepers. Flamethrowers have been upgraded though. And they are going to get some grease guns as well. They're going to be very good on the assault. Ooh, that half-track might be in trouble though if it just drives up that main way because there's more AT mines being laid. Actually, that's a legal mine. See? Oh, the Panzerboost can also hit. I think the Panzerviews can still hit them there. And they can. But I think the Omnius might want to get out of there.
We can barely move!
And right into the Sprengminen. But they didn't all die. They can still be enforced from that half-track. I think now the half-tracks and the armored car is going to go into kill. No idea where the Puma is, though. Looks like it's over here. Wait, where's the Puma? There it is. Back in the base. We also have another half-track ready to be filled up. Second Stuart coming onto the field. Probably a good choice, considering everything. The Americans are trying to repair the half-track quickly.
You ready to roll out?
See if they can get that 50 caliber online again. Should be able to. And looks like the Germans are going to try and stop them. They're digging in with a pillbox, though. Puma moving to the northern flank. The Puma's probably going to be the most effective weapon the Germans have at the moment to deal with the enemy vehicles. Oh, I don't think that's a smart idea to move the half-track there. One enemy machine gun on the flank there. .50 caliber's not getting some good shots off here. Like, oh, and the pack gets it. That's the power of an AT gun right there. Looks like the smoke might allow the Commandeers to retreat, though. Creation with minesweepers up here, very smart. We clear out the minefields. Second Stuart is in the battlefield now. Germans just maintain their rapid movements of their light vehicles, but there's another Stuart arriving. I think the Germans realize it.
German infantry, cut them down.
They don't want us to engage that Stuart. I think even the Puma have trouble dealing with Stuarts frontally.
Send your orders.
I'm not sure. But I think the Stuart can actually somewhat survive the frontal shots from a Puma.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Oh, good shot there from the Stuart, facing the crew. And he actually gets the Puma. Good Stuart.
Here it comes.
And why he wouldn't fire is because he got dazed with the first shot. And when you're dazed, it resets your cooldowns and such. But this other Stuart is ready to move here. Hack is still one. That guy can insta-kill the Stuart by penetrating him. Like that. Half-track now moving in for the kill because there's no armor to protect them. That's a dead reaction on squad unless the Germans do pursue. That's definitely going to be a dead squad, I think. Yep, there he goes. Americans getting an AT gun now. Definitely a good choice that you've gotten earlier. Looks like we have a Stuart on the move, but the pack could easily turn around. The pack is quickly turning.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Oh, and a one shot is all it takes.
Half-track has arrived.
We're in a central positioning off the pack here. You can always just turn to deal with a threat from another angle. Really good usage of the German player.
He's losing his goddamn marbles.
US Panzer IV running here for the Wehrmacht as well. That's going to be a huge problem. I don't think the United States are able to stop that. Going this little bit of lull in the fighting. What looks like the Americans still hold 2 of the victory points, but the Germans are in no rush. Once they get that Panzer IV, and look at all these half-tracks. That's a truly mechanized German force we are dealing with today. Very rare we see that many mechanized forces. The German side generally like the players don't actually get enough half-tracks, I feel. But only for 10 fuel per half-track, that's a pretty good deal, I think. Because you can just get so many of them out.
Half-track ready.
They are good for getting your troops around and providing like a mobile cover platform for them. More machine guns being armed on them as the Pioneers get going. But the Americans have managed to push up to the fuel here. But there is a machine gun inside the pillbox here. And yes, coming up, we do have a fight for screen and a Gewaltladung being exchanged. Looks like the Gewaltladung got the bit out of that one. So I think the Americans might want to pull out. Oh my god, they're still trying. Very risky move to take, I think. But they'll take it, but at what cost? Looks like they might get out of there. Will certainly help. But the Germans do have a Panzer IV-H in the battlefield, and look at all these units ready to move. They have a big mechanized push going on here with a Panzer for support, and the command car overseeing the front line. Overseeing his battle group here. Americans have prepared an HC gun, and they've actually cleared some cover. This is going to be a lot of German vehicles. One half-track taking out. But one half-track flanking here. And that takes him out. A good mechanized push here from the Germans. Quickly move to secure the territory with the half-tracks. Very nice. Actually doing a breakthrough here, an armored lance. They can do a lot of damage here to the Americans on capture territory. Very rapid capturing, and the Americans have not really turned around to respond here. Will they be able to get away though? Looks like they might. Americans are still trying to fight up here, which is not really working out in their favor. I really think the Americans need to get something else here. They are taking up for comedy commands so they can get Shermans, but I feel like it's a little bit late at this point for it. They're gonna just be losing so much to this mechanized play. Overall, Rocket's done a really good mechanized showcase here. Why you should do mechanized pushes as the Division. And they're doing this without Panzer Grenadiers, no less. Actually, I think they're doing it without the first tier building. Yeah, they don't even have the Baracken. This shows you can just skip a tier building sometimes as the Wehrmacht and do fine. And the Americans have suffered heavy losses here. What are the Americans going to do to turn this around? If anything. Mine's quickly being laid here by the Pioneers. When the tank comes out in the open, they're just gonna get mowed down. You don't want them leading the way like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Americans are doing here. Supposed to come in to do some damage, but the tank gunners are dead. But the Rifleman could pick up the bazooka here. Oh, a mine went off. Ooh. Now the half-track is going to go in for the kill. Although it only has an MG42 at the moment.
Captain just took the battlefield.
Oh, and a mine kills the company near some retreat. Ah, we do see an A3 Sherman coming out here for the United States. Will that be their saving grace, I wonder? Because the A3 Sherman can be pretty freaking potent. The Germans only have the pack and the Panzer IV-H and some mines around to stop it. If they can lure it into a mine or good ambush position, they could probably kill it. We also have a Panzer IV F1 arriving on the battlefield here for the Relic Division. And another Pioneer too. Overall, Rokel is giving us a very interesting like-to playstyle here.
I got orders, boys.
With the A3 Sherman, perhaps the Americans can do something. I suppose we'll find out.
Tank support is here. Sherman ready. Button her up. Big push coming.
This Sherman is pretty freaking good, by the way. Looks like the people, both the players are having fun at least. That's the most important part. The people playing are having fun. When there's a lack of stuff to beat the Sherman here, I think the Panzerfeuer could do it with all the support it has. Because the flamethrowers could just keep stunning and harassing the Sherman. Much of the Americans of getting another Sherman. It's gonna be a few minutes, so they have to babysit that Sherman for a while. And use it well. Not gonna be easy. Here comes the mechanized forces. Driving in an orderly column. Command car is gonna lead the way. Very risky maneuver from the commander. Especially with an A3 Sherman nearby. Spot it. Don't want to fight that. Yeah, one half tag out. That's Voyage moving up. One penetration there from the A3. You have a blitzkrieg going on. But the A3 takes it out. The A3 is a really good Sherman. So they should not underestimate it. Take out another half track there. Well, we do have a Panzer Striker on the half track here, which is a little bit awkward. Smoking and driving around. Trying to drive in circles around the Sherman here. How you can fight on the move, I have no idea. That's a very risky thing to do. Machine gun suppressing. Panzerfaust going off. With destroyers to go on the A3. But the machine gun is still firing. They're trying to reload. They're trying to reload it. But the Sherman wins. That was very tight right there. That was very wild to see indeed. And this Sherman definitely needs some help. Also getting a 50 caliber on top, which will certainly help. Although it needs to get repaired first of all. And the Americans could actually get a second Sherman now. Another A3 if they want. And indeed, they're getting another A3. Probably a good choice. The A3 is a really freaking good Sherman. They might put the Americans back in the game. Who knows? Well, they'll have to secure the other flank here. They need some infantry to do that. Do have enough manpower to get more infantry. Germans are also have a lot of infantry resources, I mean. And a lack of infantry. But they're taking up for final tier, so they might go for a Panther. I definitely think that's what the Germans are going to be aiming for.
Time to unleash our heavy tanks.
Or they're going for the final tier building, I'm pretty sure now. Probably around here. Yep, there it is, the Panzerhalle. But they should probably get some Panzer Grenadiers on the battle. Oh wait, they don't have the Baraken. That's a problem. They're getting a Puma out instead. I don't think the Puma can do a lot against the A3 Sherman, or there's actually not two of them, but I suppose we'll see if they can do some tricky movements. Double Volks Grenadiers coming out as well, and some Panzer Grenadiers arriving with a half-track. Calling you can do if you're playing as Leichter. Pretty handy.
Crew ready.
Engineers taking the field.
Also some more Commandeers arriving in an American half-track. Ready to do some damage. Oh, A3 Sherman's not prepared. You don't want to move it up like that. It's just preparing to move soon once it's fully repaired or something. Probably a lot of German mines on this side of the battlefield. Actually, I don't see any. Yeah. All the mines seem to be over here. Just the Regal mine there. The Tiller mine, I think, has been cleared. I think the Tiller mine is gone. American half-track on the move, but the Americans need to secure some ground.
Send your orders.
So the Panzer Grenadiers are just waiting up here in their half-track. Talking about that time in Africa.
Grenadiers ready. Armor here.
I certainly wouldn't miss being in Africa. It would have been so hot. The pack is waiting back in a bush. Pretty cheeky. But double Sherman's going to be hard to deal with. The Volks Grenadiers are waiting in an ambush position though.
Good to go.
Ooh, pack is going to be able to take out the half-track here. Oh, there's two units inside it. Here comes the Shermans. Grenade here from the Volks Grenadier, killing a lot of them. High explosive loaded. Pack cleared out. Panzerfaust on the flank of the Sherman. Oh, the Sherman was doing a lot of damage. Because the Puma got cancelled.
Crew ready.
Oh, the Sherman's not moving. That's gonna allow another Panzerfaust to hit it. German is trying to threaten the German base here. They are trying to disrupt the Panzerhalle, but all the infantry can now encroach on the flank of it.
M3 half-tracks ready to be deployed.
Yeah, the Sherman is realizing what's happening, I think. And the Sherman is actually caught out of place. But there's a lot of Volkskrieger that can encroach on it from all angles.
Capture point.
The Sherman is definitely doing its best here with its 50 caliber and 30 caliber machine guns. We are seeing another A3 coming onto the field, but I think this A3 should just try and focus on getting out of there. And the Volkskrieger are going for it. There's also Volkskrieger on the southern flank here that could move. Get the ammo, they're gonna try and surround it. Oh, Panzerfaust does not go if they kill the guy! Oh, and they retreat the other one. I think that was a misclick. Oh, that was certainly a misclick. And that's gonna be a victory for the Sherman here. And the A3 ship is just gunning them down as they run from it. Oh, that's brutal. And now they can actually fit in the Panzerhalle still.
Our base is under attack.
This is actually a veteran free Sherman now.
Under attack. Sherman, taking fire.
Here now the Sherman is gonna do an attempt here, throwing a smoke grenade on the Panzerhalle. They're trying to protect it.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
We're going to try and coax it into getting closer. But the smoke will run out at some point. We have another Panzer Grenadier called in as well.
Armor ready.
Oh, it's not looking good for the Wehrmacht though. Like a tank has a lot of machine guns on its front, so it's actually pretty good dealing with infantry. Oh, the Panzer Grenadiers are gonna go for it.
The enemy is firing.
They're gonna try and get closer, then pop out to do a Panzerfaust, I think. Very cheeky play here, but looks like the Americans just pop smoke as well and back off. But they do save the Panzerhalle. We also have a Stugier arriving here. But the A3 Shermans are just doing so much damage. We also have an F8 Stug coming out. Will the Stug be enough to protect the Panzerhalle? I somehow doubt it.
Under attack.
Stug is gonna try.
We are losing a sector.
Oh, one penetration there.
We are suffering losses.
So I think the Shermans might want to decide to back off soon.
We are getting good at this job.
And I think the Shermans just have to pull back and repair. They've done a lot of work here for the United States.
Looks like we're getting
They cannot see the Panzerhalle anymore, so the Germans might just have saved the Panzerhalle. But for how long? The pack coming out and the F8 is almost here. Because the Volkskrieger is going to try and do a flank. Oh, Panzerhalle is in trouble again. Because the Germans are going to lose it. Yep, no Panzerhalle. Yeah, it's very hard to flank an A3 Sherman with an electrical turret. F8's trying to push up here, but the A3s are just going to shoot at it rapidly. Like, Germans are good. And now the 50 caliber on the half track has taken out the 261. Like, American armored vehicles are nothing to fret about, nothing to write home about. They're really freaking good at their job. Pack is gonna get in a good position though. Got a good shot there. The Packs are certainly the better option the Germans have against the A3 at the moment.
Our HQ is under attack.
We also have another half the Twitter trying to get on the flank here. They just want to try and overrun. One A3 down. Panzerfaust in the other A3 killing it. And that's certainly gonna help the German defense here. But the Americans can get another A3 soon, I think. Just need the fuel. Like, this battle is going a lot of back and forth, I think. It's good to see. Now the 50 caliber can deal with this half track if it gets close enough. Ooh, but I think this 30 caliber is gonna die. Well, the Panzer Grenadiers have not been given any weapons. I guess they're relying on all their munitions on specific anti-tank equipment. And there we go. The 30 caliber team is dead. There's some Eerie Echelon just standing around for some reason right outside the German base. Here we have another A3 coming onto the field.
Here it comes. Objective secure.
Yeah, they do definitely have a good match going here between the two. That's nice to see. Boskins are trying to get up behind the cover here to probably throw grenades. And they're just going to rely on their Kar-98s. There's only one guy with a weapon at the moment, just a guy with a minesweeper here. Trying to throw grenades. Let's see if the pineapple does anything. Does kill two of them. Will he get out of there? No, he won't. Half-tech guns him down. Half-tech leading the way here. And the German half-tech I don't think can beat the American one. But the 50 caliber here and the American one is just too powerful. Although I don't think the half-tracks can... Yeah, now I can see. The 50 caliber needs to be close enough to penetrate or use armor-piercing bullets. The tank hunters cannot capture territory, by the way. Doing another A3 arriving here. But the Americans are making good use of the A3 Shermans, as they showed. It is, after all, like... one of the best basic Sherman models, and you can only get it if you're playing as Mechanized. It's so good. Like, it has so much armor, like 1080 armor. On a Sherman, that's like more than the Stuk here. But it's very noticeable. And more cavalry troopers are arriving from the United States to try and take to the battlefield.
Button her up. Big push coming. A capture point is being overrun.
Germans are, of course, using their half-tracks to get around and capture points. But the front line is still somewhat in the Americans' favor because they're still taking down the Germans' points. Well, they was almost evened out at this point in the match, by the looks of it. A Stuart coming out to support as well. A little bit of a cheaper light tank to support the infantry and the Sherman, I suppose.
We got a new unit ready and on the field. He's losing his goddamn marbles. Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
The American infantry is slowly being caught at every time the half-tracks try to pull in for a little shot. Now we have the Stuk 8 just keeping an eye here with an MD-42 on top.
We are ready for action.
More Volks Grenadiers also moving out. Tank is waiting behind the shed here, but I think that Volks Grenadiers are probably going to stop that. It depends, they're taking cover behind the tank rack.
Our territory.
Americans trying to push up here. Going to laid more mines, looks like it's just sprang minen. Here's the Stuart. German Stuart, 2 packs operational, which will certainly help. Again, Volks is pushing up. I don't think the tank hunt is going to be ready for this fight. But the half does seem to cover them. The Stuk decides to fall back without any infantry support. Probably a wise choice.
Button her up. Big push coming.
A3's just keeping an eye here in the center for now. Americans are trying to get some fuel caches up. Okay. I guess they're going to try and see if they can get more Shermans out at some point. The fuel caches are good for saving up for that. There's a lack of German AT equipment on the northern flank here. Oh, they just run into Spang Minen. And the Stuart just needs to not get too close to the Panzer Grenadiers here. A good attempt with the canister shot. Actually, that was actually enough to save it, I think. And now the Panzer Grenadiers can only run. After quickly relocating to the northern flank here with some more Panzer Grenadiers. Americans also digging in here. They can actually reinforce from the half-track if they wanted.
Boys, you ready to
Who have to turn to flank. Ooh, another smoke. Very cheeky with them. And smoke from the steward to ensure they cannot get Panzerfausted immediately. And they also have canister shots. Ooh, Panzerfaust goes off and destroys the steward. But the Panzer can just die.
We are losing Soldaten.
Another A3 coming onto the field here for the United States. Germans have teched up for the Panzerhalle again. They're going to try and save up for that Panther, I think. Need something out there to help supplement. And now there's a lack of AT gear here to stop this half-track, so it's just slowly going to chip away the American infantry. That MG42 on top. A good usage of the half-tracks here. Grenade going out, but that's not going to do much, so they can just back off. They're just going to allow the Americans to try and make a retreat for it. So good to see. And the half-tracks are persistent though, they want to gun down these Americans. They might get in range here of the base defenses. It decides to back off. Just as another A3 Sherman arrives. But the Germans gonna get at this point. They almost have enough for the Panther. About 1 minute off, I'd say. Now the half-track flanks here. Trying to take out the crew of the AT gun here. With some focused fire. Has to reload the MG42. But in time it reloads it.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
But the Americans just re-grab the AT gun. Half-track destroyed up here by the American A3 Sherman. I don't see any AT mines here, but it is the Regal mine up here still. Only one half-track left here for the Wehrmacht. They might have exhausted their supply of them at this point. Because they've used a lot on this battlefield, in all honesty. The Americans coming in with more and more riflemen. Vietnam with minesweepers leading the way.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Ah, yeah, we're gonna see a command Panther arriving. Okay. That's exactly what the Germans need to beat these Shermans, I think. Because the command Panther is a pretty potent vehicle.
Breakthrough tactics are ready for use, Commander.
Perry there is sweating because it's a very tight match, which I can kind of tell it is. Either side is actually knows how to proceed, I think. There's a Regal mine here, so this Sherman might be in trouble. If it tries further forward, that is. Which it doesn't look like it's gonna do. Americans don't have Thunder Run yet, they're also very costly munitions wise, so that's probably... You're probably not gonna see Thunder Run this game, I'd wager. The Americans are going to secure a fuel point here, so the Americans are definitely going to have the fuel advantage. Smoke shield rounded, or smoke round loaded, I mean. Go. Preventing the pillbox from firing. Command Panther is not arriving yet. That's a Stugay. The Badeladung up here, not really hitting much. Takes out the Regal mine! That's actually bad for the Germans. Ooh, Mechanized troops on the flank here get mowed down.
We just lost a unit.
And the Mechanized troopers are just taking so many losses here. You have a third A3 coming onto the battlefields. Command Panther has arrived. They will see the front line and lead the Germans to victory, hopefully. For their own sake. See if the Shermans can work well enough to take it out. The Shermans need to coordinate to take care of that. One Sherman at a time. It's just going to be in the Panther's favor. Like this Sherman's probably dead. Oh, it missed! The Sherman is going to have a hard time dealing with the Panther. Especially an A3 because it only has a 75mm gun. Panther misses.
Tank support is here.
Sherman's trying to back off. But the Panther's just too fast.
Ready for orders.
And there it goes, that's one Sherman down. At this the point I think the Americans need the EC-8 by taking up. But the Panther is very potent. Or Panzer Grenadier is going to be arriving in on the half track by the looks of it. Panther command tank on the move. It might get in range of the A3 gun here. Oh no, the A3, the 3-inch. There's also a 57 nearby. Sherman could move to flank. We'll take that, it shoots at Stugi instead. Shermans could actually flank. Stugi is down. There's also the Sherman here.
We have lost a
Like, looks the Americans have forgotten about it though.
It's down.
Oh, Panther could be flanked if the other Sherman is also micromanaged. There's a tank hunter nearby. Are they gonna try and composite B it? Oh, the bazooka in the rear! Engine is burning. If the other Sherman pounds, they could probably have killed it there. Oh, they get it still! A3 gets the Panther. Good job from the Shermans there. The Americans lost a lot of stuff there though, but that's a dead Panther. I think that the Shermans should probably take the chance here. I think the Germans definitely not gonna be able to get another Panther for a while. And that's gonna be a very long time before they can get another one at this rate. Another A3. Looks like the Americans are not gonna take up fully. They're just gonna rely on A3 Shermans. Which I mean you can do. You don't need to take up fully and get the EC-8 and such. We have a quiet little bit of the battle now. Not a lot of actions going on at the moment. See, let's speed up time a bit, because I don't see anything happening for a bit. Another half track going around here for the Germans. Come on the other flank. You have a half track waiting here though, and an 80 gun. Taking out that position very quickly. We have a Puma coming out as well. Which I don't think the Germans can really use to win here.
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
It looks like Rockwell got attrition down by the sheer weight and power of the A3 Shermans.
Button her up. Big push coming. Green as green can be.
Yeah, it's good if these two get along well and will play together in the future. I'd like to see stuff between these two. They seem to have had a very good match here.
Waiting orders.
Oh, looks like Rockwell does want to try something else. Speed up time and see if anything happens. German on the move here. American riflemen moving up alongside the Sherman. Good to see. Mechanized troopers do fight better with tanks. I believe they do anyway. Would make sense. That's kind of what they're meant to do. The Americans are just probing at the moment. Germans do need to be the ones to push because they are losing victory points at the moment. Double more A3s for the United States, so they're just gonna overrun the Germans with Shermans. They're just gonna try and dig in now and prepare for the worst. Looks like the Germans basically lost their fight in the end here.
Get ready to displace.
Mechanized troopers are way near throwing a smoke grenade. Oh.
You're starting to get under my skin.
I'm gonna try and get up here on the fuel again? Looks like they are.
Enemy forces now has 300 points remaining.
Germans are just taking in at the moment. They probably cannot do much else. But this is a victory point game, so just digging in like that is not gonna make them sustain themselves. Grenade on the pillbox. Didn't do anything. The pioneers are still safe inside it. It is very hard to get troops out of a pillbox. They can hold in there for a while. Full mortar down here now. Oh, mortar half-track. Ooh. Trying to do the best to do some damage here, but that's a lot of A3 Shermans in the center. Oh, the Puma's going for it. Oh my god, the Sherman did not spot it. Oh, it's going, but it's a flamethrower hit it, and then the Sherman hits it in the rear. Half-track is down though.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
There's probably the opening the German infantry needed. It looks like the Germans, including their field commander here from his tank crew, trying to help as well. Before getting inside the building here, I imagine. The Germans need to make some pushes. But there's a lot of Shermans ready. And several A3 Shermans now on the move. This one might be Panzerfausted. Yep. Good Panzerfaust. But here comes more of them. Panzerfaust is being loaded up. I think these Shermans might want to pull back. Look at all the Shermans that are just driving. There's so many of them. Pack is getting a good shot in though.
Our brave infantry is dying.
Yeah, the Germans cannot hold this. But this brave pack is certainly trying. Getting another good shot there. Oh, there's actually double pack now working. This might be that Sherman. Another half-track goes down. Another Panzerfaust goes off, destroying it. And that's why you need to have infantry supporting your Shermans, because else the Panzerfaust just happen.
Our fighting position now has some ordnance behind it.
You're asking how many tanks when you're fighting the United States. All the tanks. Well, the booty finally is taking up fully. Which means we might see EC8s if this keeps going on. I'll speed up time again, it doesn't look like a lot is happening. Yeah, so many tanks, the power of the USA in World War II. Exactly what I'm saying! Digging in. Americans are doing the same with fighting positions. Germans slowly losing points. These units aren't even fully healed up yet. Germans are going for the fuel point up here. Using some smoke to the advantage. Fighting positions are present here with a 50 caliber. Also some mechanized troops with a bazooka off the ground. Throwing a pineapple grenade. Ooh, good pineapple. Killing the Panzer Grenadiers. We're just running into the depths here at this point, it feels like. Not the best window though for the Germans here. There's only one window with one gunner through. Pineapple inside the building. The Germans are trying, but I don't think it's helping.
We have lost a squad.
And open flank is basically bare now. It's just the pillbox, but that's not going to do much on its own. Germans are running out of everything. Speed up time again, I think.
We have a forward structure under attack.
Oh, there's a spang mine in there that killed one of the squads. They're self-destructing the pillbox.
They're at 200 points.
Germans are trying to get some packs and preparing to dig in further. Well, the Americans are just securing ground and defer the victory point. You're also seeing EC8 tanks arriving here for the United States soon. It's just getting pack upon pack upon pack now. Even the small packs are coming out.
Stay close. Area is ours.
Will they even do enough?
Looks like we're getting into the excitement.
Are the Americans even going to push now that they have all the victory points? Because they don't need to push. You could do fine just sitting back and let the victory points do the work. Well, the Germans are just trying their desperately best to dig in. They could get some more infantry out, but at this point, suppose... Well, infantry is always good to have, in my opinion. Infantry is a very important aspect, but I am not these players, obviously. Let them play like they want to play. So far, it's been a very entertaining match. I've certainly enjoyed watching this one so far. It is getting very long. Yeah, you actually waited long enough for him to get enough fuel to get another Panther. He doesn't have to wait long, though. Almost winning victory point-wise.
Button her up. Big push coming.
EC8 is moving up a little bit. Germans are just in ambush positions with all their packs. Well, they know the EC8 is there. And several guns ready.
We have 100 points remaining.
Mines being laid down here, good to see. Only one. There's just one mine there, and then more being laid over here. The American M7 anti-tank mine, which I think does very little damage but stuns. It's very cheap and quick to lay down, as you can see. Can Germany even get that command panther out in time to make a difference? That is the question. Because they need to get 2 victory points to at least stop the bleed.
Germans down to 75 points.
That's not going to be easy for the Germans to achieve. The Americans certainly send this around.
Sherman ready to go.
Oh, he's throwing everything at the problem now. He just wants to try and get a point. Sending everything in, and here comes the command panther. Here comes all the packs.
Armor here.
Running into machine guns is not going to be good for packs.
We have lost a pack gun. Taking fire.
They're getting close to this EC8 though.
Go ahead.
There's just Shermans everywhere. They're doing their best to push, but the Americans are just too dug in, I think. Here's the command panther in the center.
The enemy has dealt us.
But 3-inch gun penetrates and he gets killed in the side from the EC8.
Good fucking hit.
And the EC8 just does its job.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being...
I fucking love the EC8. Such a good Sherman.
Attack.
The A3s is just so good too. Like, American tanks are just good. But the Sherman variants can be so good and useful. Yeah, 80 fuel for the A3s.
They only have 10 points remaining.
And the Sherman's just good. I'll try to push up on the pack here, but the victory points run out and the Americans seize victory. I hope you all enjoyed this one. I certainly did. I will see you all next one, everyone. Bye bye.